the last thing I wanted to touch on, actually, while I've got it racking in my brain, is, we know in the meat and dairy industry, we've got certain lobbying groups fighting for certain rights. These are things like the Red Meat Advisory Council, the Dairy Australia, Beef Council. So we've got these industries that have a lot of dollar bills that try to influence our political system. Does the kangaroo industry have a powerful lobby that interferes? You're already nodding your head. So what is the influence, or where do they kind of sit in and talk to politicians, or what kind of power have you seen them have in the past?
Well, I'll give you an example. The EU campaign is clearly working because we learned from our European colleagues that the Australian government is funding a social media blitz in Europe at the moment, promoting the benefits of eating kangaroo. So that's happening.
Fascinating.
That's happening right now, and that's our taxpayers' money being spent on promoting the consumption of kangaroo meat.
Yeah, and one of the
That's
things
happening right now, and so I mean, that's the effect of the campaign. They are worried about this trade being shut down, and so they should be. So they should be. It's their biggest market, and the Europeans have made it really clear that they think we've heard them call us barbarians, because they say that's what you might do in Australia, but that's not what we do in Europe. So,
I mean, the issue that we haven't really talked about is the treatment of joeys, because mothers.
I was trying to keep it positive, but
Okay, so just
No, give us the reality, because
so
I think
one of the biggest problems in Europe is America and here
the biggest problem is here every night.
Yeah.
Every night, baby joeys.
So when mothers are shot, as you said earlier, Tom, often they have a baby joey in the pouch. So that baby is reliant on them still. It's still breastfeeding. And even if it can be like up to 1.5, 2 years old, it's still jumping in and out of that pouch, which is a funny thing to watch. And joeys are the cutest,
the best,
as in most baby animals. Anyway, because the shooters kill the mothers, and at night they shoot females and males, and they, of course, want the larger species so that they can get more pounds, or more kilos to sell per kilo. The joeys are either in the pouch, and the shooters drag them out of the pouch and then smash their heads over the bull bar, or
stomp
on their heads.
We've witnessed this, so we know this is true.
Or slit their throats alive just there and then, like that. That's a normal way to treat baby animals and our native wildlife. And that is the most shocking, horrendous thing. And the other thing that happens, of course, is the joeys that aren't in the pouch are just left to go off on their own.
Die
of exposure or, hunger. And both this treatment of joeys is just undeniably wrong. There's no way, the industry tries to say it's the most humane way of killing, which in itself is the weirdest sentence. But the most humane is just like, you just hear that when you're interviewing people and you go, what bit of humane is that? Like, it's just so bizarre. And of course, once you start telling people that happens every night across Australia, everyone's shocked. It's a human reality. It is disgusting and it's brutal, and you can't think about it too much because it's just so wrong, and it just hurts so much to think about.
We produced a TV commercial last year for Europe. It's a 60-second commercial, and you can find it on the Kangaroos Alive website. And
I'll get you guys to email it to me so I can put it in the show notes for people to check it out.
Yeah, and basically it just shows, it's not nice, it's not great footage, but it shows what happens, and it has footage of a mother kangaroo that's lying on her back after being shot, and the joey just sitting on her, still alive. Yeah, it's Australia's dirty secret. This is going on every night, and it's just uncomfortable to talk about. And we've done it. We're doing our bit to shine a light on it. And again, we just urge people to have the discussion. Is this really what we want to be doing with our national icon? Is this something that is it's just, as Kate said, there's no ethical justification for doing this, and it's up to us to have these discussions with our with our community.
Yeah, and like we often sort of go on about places like China are barbarians, they do this and that. And, we went there to China to film, and Uncle Max, who came with us, asked them if they would eat their panda bear. And they just looked at the Australian delegation that we went with and said, of course we wouldn't. Like, why would you eat your panda bear? Like that is our sort of, big thing. And it was just like, they were very confused at that point that we would eat the kangaroo. It's not, we shouldn't be throwing stones at other countries when we're doing these sort of things.
How do I follow on to that with a question? It is very confronting to hear. It is incredibly hard to hear, and even more difficult to comprehend.